this Milo very nice leh.
Hey, actually, what's this logo at the bottom?
I think I saw on TV. They call it the Nutri-Grade. It's something new that the government introduced. But then honestly, I'm not very sure like what it means. Am I supposed to drink it? Yeah.
Okay, luckily for us, we have an expert with us today. She's an expert advisor to the Ministry of Health in relation to sugar reduction in our beverages. So here we have Dr. Kalpana. You may introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Kalpa Bhaskaran. I'm the president of Singapore Nutrition and Dietetics Association, as well as the head of Glycemic Index Research Unit at Temasek Polytechnic. So I was asked to, maybe I work closely with Health Promotion Board when we set up this Nutri-Grade label. So when you were holding the drink, I saw this label. So what was it? Was it A, B, C, or D? What was the?
It's Nutri-Grade B.
B, okay. So as you all know, right, A, B is healthier compared to C and D. So why we decided to do this? Because you know that the rates of diabetes in Singapore have been much higher, and we are in 2016, Health Minister declared war on diabetes because we were the second in terms of the rates of diabetes in developing countries. The first was USA. So we decided to do something about it. And I'm aware that consumption of sugar is not like, you cannot tell consume sugar, you get diabetes. No. But at the same time, this sugar has no added value, nutritional value in our diet. Because when you look at sugar, it is just carbohydrate. It doesn't have any other nutrients other than just pure carbs, or it's called as empty calories. So where are these carbs coming from? It's from sugar, and most of us Singaporeans, what we do, every time when we go for a meal, we also grab a drink, right? So, and this drink contains sugars. So we wanted to really cut down that, even among Southeast Asian countries, we consume 3-in-1 beverages. So when you look at 3-in-1 beverages, sugar and saturated fat come in. So that is why this Nutri-Grade label was created, so that we are able to distinguish beverages A, B, C, and D. So C and D beverages contain lots of sugar and saturated fat, either of them or both of them. And so mandatory, you need to label C and D. A and B you need not, but C and the bad ones, yes, you need to tell consumers they are C and D. And then you cannot advertise these beverages, those which are C and D. That is why these labels were created. So next time when you are going to choose, which one will you choose?
A or B.
A or B. So it's very easy for consumers to just pick up, okay, it's healthy, and we all know, right, as Singaporeans, we love grades. A, B, right? So you just go for the better grades and don't go for C and D.
So does this boost the sales of Nutri-Grade A and B drinks?
Yes, because more and more consumers, a lot of studies have shown that consumers are more and more aware, and they try to choose drinks which are A and B. Because it's straight on their face, then that means you are knowing that it is unhealthy, you are drinking. So that is why we are also educating consumers. Choose healthy beverages.
Yeah, sometimes when I go out to buy and then I kind of want to drink something like unhealthy, then after I see C and D, then I'll think twice and okay, never mind. Maybe I look for something B.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know taste comes first, but as you are used to this, the healthier taste, automatically you are training your taste buds to choose healthier options.
So now that these Nutri-Grades have been established, manufacturers of drinks and other sweet products would probably look to substitute their sugar with artificial sweeteners. So we just want to ask, what are the common artificial sweeteners used as sugar substitutes in low or zero sugar foods?
Okay. This is something we want the manufacturers to do. So Health Promotion Board also gives a lot of grants for reformulation, everything we cannot call as artificial sweeteners. Maybe some of them are also called as sugar substitutes. So let's look at two categories. One is the artificial sugar category, where we have aspartame. That's one of the sweetener used, which is 200 times sweeter than sugar. So if I replace sugar, I just add a little bit of it, it'll be sweeter. So that is mostly present in some of the soft drinks. We also have sucralose, which is even sweeter, 600 times sweeter than sugar. So this is used in beverages, even some of the dairy products and so on. And then we have the natural one, they call it the natural sweetener, which is the stevia. So stevia can be used into beverages. And the other things, the newer ones are like monk fruit sweetener is being used. That is also called a sort of Indian sweetener, but it is from the natural source monk fruit. And we have the other ones like acetylcysteine K, which is 200 times sweeter and so on. In addition to it, we also have some of the sugar alcohols. So these sugar alcohols are sugar substitutes which are not artificial. The sugar alcohols are in the case of processing, we try to extract these sugar alcohols, but they are only 60 to 80% as sweet as sugar. Right? If sugar is 100% sweet, when I add a sugar alcohol, it is only 60 to 80% sweet. That means it is lower in the sweetness index. We have sugar alcohols like erythritol, xylitol. See, when it ends with OL, that's a sugar alcohol. The only caution in using sugar alcohols is it is when you add a lot or when you consume beverages which are sweetened with these sugar alcohols in very high amounts, then it has got a laxative effect. For some patients, some subjects, it leads to digestive disturbances and diarrhea. And what is the new sugar ingredients in the market is also allulose. Allulose is around 70% as sweet as sugar, and that's also used in some of the sugar-free or low-sugar beverages.
That's a lot of different kinds of
Yeah, it's quite a big range. I've only given partial.
So are these like substitutes? Like for example, just now when you were mentioning the sugar alcohols, right? Are they considered harmful or are they actually beneficial because they cut out sugar?
Okay, this is again a very valid question which consumers always ask. So when anything is out, all these sweeteners are in the market, they are called as generally regarded as safe, or they have the GRAS status, GRAS, generally regarded as safe status. They are approved by SFA, so they are not really harmful when they are used within the limits. Every ingredient or every sweetener has an upper limit. So when manufacturers use this to produce the sugar sweetened beverages, they have to follow the limits. Otherwise, you cannot even sell your product, right? So within the limits, actually, they are not harmful. But having said that, when you use these intense sweeteners, you are constantly exposing yourself to the sweet taste, right? You are not training your taste buds to cut down sugar. So then there's no way you're going to take healthier products with less sugar. So that is what we say. You try to cut down. And to me, the best beverage should be water. So try to drink water as much as possible. Then you also go for beverages with A and B.
Yeah, I think it's also important to think about like from a consumer's perspective, right? When I see something saying sugar free, like for example, this fisherman's friend, right? It actually says sugar free here. So when I bought it, I was like, oh, okay, so I can keep eating. But in the ingredients list, right, they actually have sorbitol, and here they write prevent excessive consumption as that may induce a laxative effect.
That's why we never always, even with healthier choice symbol, right? The triangle symbol. It always says there in moderation. Consume everything in moderation. So that is where portion control is important, right? Don't consume anything in too large quantities as well. And I think previously Neha asked this question. oh, is sugar okay? Right? Always remember, if you take 1 teaspoon of sugar, which is around, let's say, roughly 4 to 5 grams of carbs, right? So that gives around 20 calories. But if I'm taking a drink which has got, like, let's say, 2 teaspoons, then automatically it's 40 calories. But these 40 calories are just giving you nothing but carbs. There is no protein, there is no micronutrients. So this is what you need to think. So do I need to take this? Why not I shift this calories? I can spread it to some other thing, right? I can take a staple. I can take a bowl of vegetables, which will give you a lot of other functional nutrients, right? So it's that is the consumer message. We keep on telling. That's why all this taming your taste buds should start as young as possible, so that you don't crave for these sugar sweetened beverages.
In a lot of beverages and snacks, we've actually noticed some common ingredients, and two of them are maltodextrin and dextrose. So, could you tell us a bit more about them?
Okay. In the case of like for dextrose, normally they may have labeled as dextrose, or it comes in different forms like glucose syrup. Glucose and dextrose are the same, right? In the case of dextrose, it is used as a sweetener, and also sometimes when you use dextrose or glucose syrups, keeps it moist. So that's one reason they will use it. And in the case of maltodextrin, it's used as a bulking agent. The only thing is, both of them are high glycemic index ingredients. So when we say it's high glycemic index, when we consume foods with high levels of maltodextrin or glucose syrups or dextrose, your sugar spikes. Okay, so sugar spikes, and then it also crashes. So you will feel hungry sooner. Let's say you are eating certain products and you feel that, okay, it at least should give me a sustained energy release. That may not happen when you add too much of these ingredients. So that is why, and every time you have these sugar spikes, it is actually, it also creates insulin spikes. And this leads to, in the long run, leads to insulin resistance, obesity, and diabetes. So I would also like to add on that, see, recent days we also see a lot of innovation in the ingredient space. So we have this resistant maltodextrin, which is kind of resistant to digestion. So when resistant maltodextrin is added to products, we don't see such sugar spikes, and we have tested that in our laboratory.
So should we feel like safe consuming such instant beverages and snack types with maltodextrin and dextrose?
Okay, when you talk about food safety, so that definitely the food should be safe, right? All these are approved ingredients. But when you talk about, okay, is it good for me? Then you look at the nutrition information panel. Because when you go and send for nutrient analysis, the maltodextrin, if it's there, it is reflected as carbohydrate on your nutrition information panel. Try to choose products which have 50% carbs, 20% protein, 30% fat. Roughly any snack or anything you choose, you see, if it's completely carb based, then you need to ask yourself, do I need so much of carbs? And then you also can see added sugars. So added sugars mean they're adding while processing. That is why any time you choose, it should be balanced. Every meal should be balanced. It should contain at least 50% carbs. The calories, 50% should come from carbs, 20% from protein, 30% from fats. So this, if you keep this in mind when you eat your breakfast, lunch, dinner, so across the day, your meal is balanced. So you're not focusing on just one macronutrient. So which is very hard, right, for consumers. Hey, how much is 50%? I don't know. So that is where you come out with the plate concept. So when you look at your healthy plate, then we say half your plate should be maybe vegetable and fruit. Then 1/4 will be carbs. Then 1/4 will be protein. They may wonder, how come you said 50% is only 1/4 is carbs? Because your fruit and vegetable also has carbs. So when you put it together, actually you are giving 50% of calories come from carbs.
So, with all these hidden dangers in our foods, there are many people who believe that the easiest way to eat healthier is to buy like organic, whole, or like completely natural foods. So, what are some of the foods or groceries that are better consumed organically, and what are some foods where it doesn't matter that much whether it's like processed or organic?
Okay, so it's a little bit tricky because the reason is currently any produce which is organic, it is expensive, right? It's definitely a little bit expensive than a regular product. So I always believe that when you choose products, you should make sure it is affordable. But if you still feel okay, I really want to consume certain products which are pesticide free, because why do we choose organic is to make sure there are no pesticides, right? So when I talk about staple rice and so on, to me you can just buy any ordinary rice. Make sure that you thoroughly wash the rice. Okay, thoroughly wash it and then cook should be okay. The same thing in the case of pasta and so on. No need to go for organic unless if you are able to afford, then go for it. In the case of fruits, have more pesticides, contaminated with pesticides is strawberries. Because pesticides are sprayed multiple times during strawberry cultivation. So in that case, you may think, okay, let me choose an organic version which is affordable, you can go for it. Same thing with spinach and tomatoes, peppers, and all these. But other than that, I feel some of the fruits like bananas, you just go for any banana, no need to go for organic because you can just peel off. Same thing, avocados, you can peel the skin. Onions, citrus fruit, the skin is very thick, so you need not go for the organic varieties. I believe in no need to choose organic because it's expensive. Because as students, I don't want you to think, okay, organic is good for me. I don't think so.
I think it's really appreciated by all of us that you try to give like a well-rounded approach. So it's not just about like eating completely organically, but there's also other factors in our life that we have to like consider, like the
Yeah,
cost.
because I always feel anything we consume, a common man should be able to buy. Okay, that is what is affordable wellness. And it's going to be everyday food, It is not like, oh, I eat once in a blue moon. Then I can go for organic, correct? And nutritionally, both are the same.
Okay.
But only thing is organic, of course, there is no pesticide. And they also use certain fertilizers which are natural. So in that case, organic will be much better. And people say when you eat too much of pesticides, it might lead to cancers and so on, right? So that is why sometimes even the way you wash your vegetables and fruits is very important. Wash thoroughly and then you consume it.
Then with like the rising cost of like everything, right, including like all our groceries, right, do you have any other tips for students to still be able to ensure that we're eating healthily while still keeping in mind the expenditure on our groceries?
Yeah, I think that's a very valid thing. So the main thing for healthy eating on a budget is first is you need to plan your meals, what you're going to eat. And if let's say you want to experiment on cooking, you're able to do that. Of course, home cooking, some of your meals will be much, much better. It will be healthier. You know what ingredients go in. And also you can, it's like kind of a stress reliever as well. And home cooking, you can also do it on a budget, right? You can buy certain ingredients and do it. Try to choose recipes with minimum ingredients, maybe less than 8 ingredients, just 5 ingredients. And you can even cook 3, 4 meals together, slightly larger portions. Then you can pack in individual containers and you can freeze it. And whenever you need, you can take and thaw. It really saves a lot of money, time, and you also eat healthy. And also you can create a shopping list and make sure when you're planning to cook, you try to buy ingredients which can be used for multiple recipes. So that not just one recipe, I buy 1 pack of oats, I just use 100 grams, the rest of it is wasted. Instead, you try to plan and try to do that. And of course, the other thing you can use this when you're eating out, try to go for not fancy places. Just try to go, even to go to your hawker center when you're buying food items. You can just buy even an economic rice stall. You can buy just rice, and in that you can have an option brown rice, and choose one vegetable, one meat, and bring your own water bottle. Then you can even save $1 on your drinks. So simple things, and in fact, if you have less leftovers, you can even store them and heat, like reheat properly, because food safety, and then you can consume. And fruits, you try to buy seasonal fruits. See, now mango is in season. You can get a mango for $1, but if it's non-season, one mango is $3. So try to get seasonal foods and be sustainable. Try to avoid food wastage, so you also save your money and food wastage as well. These are some of the tips you can. And again, what else? Um, because bulk buying will not help you, because you need to store.
With those tips that you share, I think it's something new that we learned and we'll try it out at our own time also.
Yeah, because I think you cook, you will enjoy that. You can even form like a few people gather together at one home. You all cook together. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Heart to Health Talk. And thank you to Dr. Kalpana for joining us and sharing your knowledge and insights on hidden dangers in our groceries.
If you like this episode, leave us a like and share with your friends. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify at Heart to Health Talk to stay updated. See you at our next episode.